Good evening, guys. Good evening. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Tonight, I have a question for South Africans. This question is directed to South Africans that are living around the Libombo border post, or maybe not far from the Libombo border post. How do you feel tonight? Let me just ask you specifically tonight. How do you feel? Do you feel safe? Can you sleep peacefully without being worried what is happening outside your house, or maybe just outside? Are you going to sleep peacefully tonight? And if you are not, who to blame? Because I don't want to say much tonight because I might end up being sounding like an ANC hater, yet I am an ANC member. I don't have a card though because they stopped giving cards a long time ago. We ran up and down wanting our cards, but we couldn't get. And then I have a lot to say, but then again, I am an ANC member, but who is so super angry with the ANC because of how they've been conducting themselves over the years. And as things stand at this moment, I'm looking for who to vote, which party to vote. I'm just looking around which ones. I'm listening to all politicians, parties. And at the same time, I still love the ANC. I have to be honest with you guys, I still love the ANC. But they have to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And border control is one of the things that I'm watching them very closely. I am watching them very closely. Should they fail with this one within their GNU, within this 5-year period, I'm gone. I'm so gone. And then let us go back to our topic. Do you feel safe? And if you do not feel safe, who to blame? I'll just give you my views, because it is said that the ANC is the one that removed soldiers from patrolling the borders. Also, they are the ones that removed the fence from keeping our borders intact. The electric fence, let me put it that way. They removed the electric fence and replaced it. But let me read this for you as we proceed with this topic. South Africa has closed its Libombo post of entry with Mozambique over safety concerns as post-election violence escalates on the Mozambican side of the border. So these are one of the things. So South Africa felt like, no, this is not safe. Let us close our borders. This is how serious the matter is. Because closing the borders is just not like, oh, wow, the borders are closed. No, money is being lost. People are being inconvenienced. So a lot of things are happening when this happens. A lot of things get affected. But I am not trying to blame the South African government for closing the border. It is, for me, according to me, it is the right call. But now the question is, are South Africans feeling safe? South African, do they trust the border control that no one will come with their violence from that side and be this side? Let us continue reading because I have more to say. This one said the deadly violence that began at the Libombo border gate in Mozambique and spread to South Africa allegedly forced some stranded Mozambican police officers and border officials to apply desperate tactics to spare their lives. So yeah, my question is, firstly, I am not blaming the South African government for closing the borders. For me, it is the right call. Now, does it mean now that they've closed the borders, who are they closing the borders from? Is it the ones that they could see right in front of them here, or the ones that could escape from somewhere? And if these violently charged people can find themselves in South Africa, what could happen? Because it is said they were forcing their way into South Africa with all that energy of violence, with all that energy. So my question is, if you don't feel safe tonight, who to blame? Who do we blame for you feeling unsafe? Do we blame our votes? Do we blame ourselves? Or do we blame the people that we have given the mandate to take care of this country and protect us, to take decisions that protect South Africans. Why do we have borders like that? Why are our borders like that? Why are our borders like that? And also, business is losing money. They say the people that are in the transport business, they say they've already losing millions out of the closing of the borders. So who is responsible? If we are not feeling safe tonight, who do we blame? But before we go further, let us hear from those who are losing money because of the closed border.
We have been in communication with the Mozambican authorities, and I think their first call is to ensure that there is safety of their citizens, that they secure certain routes. So there are some things we need to push into Mozambique. There are some fuels we need to push in. There are some, what in the old days under COVID we called essentials. So there's some foods, there's some medicines, and that is being escorted by the Mozambican authorities. But we need to understand they can't escort everything. We've tried to ensure, or tried to get the authorities in Mozambique to understand about ship sailings and certain commodities that need to reach the port of Maputo. But at this stage, those authorities' capabilities are quite stretched. You did say earlier on, and we heard from some of the people earlier on saying that the military, the army is now being called in. Some of our operators have got private security, but not everybody. That costs a lot of money. So that is why we are not operating at full tilt. At right now, as I speak, no one is crossing the border.
I know it may be too soon to quantify it, but what could we be looking at in terms of costs to your members if this is prolonged?
Well, you know, we already are sitting at a figure of about 15 million that's been lost in terms of costs to operators. So we might get to 50, 60 million rand. We don't know. We haven't got all the information from our members and South African transport logistics companies that are still sitting in Mozambique trying to get out and what sort of damage they might have had. But we are roughly at about 15 to 18 million now in terms of costs to the industry.
Just for clarity.
Somebody might say, why did you add this one? Why is this clip here? I'm adding this because this is the cost of supporting Frelimo as ANC. The ANC supports Frelimo and your ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF, according to the news that is making round, it is alleged that ZANU-PF has a hand in what is happening in Mozambique because they helped Frelimo to rig votes. How did they do that? It is also rumored that Zimbabweans have been voting in these elections, in Maputo elections. So it is alleged. Please, please, when I choose my words intentionally. It is alleged that ZANU-PF has assisted Frelimo to rig the elections. And the ANC, I'm bringing the ANC here because they are also Frelimo parties, all the sister revolutionary parties. Sure, some hectic something that I don't understand. Please, guys, we need change. We need change. It's either new things come or the ones that we have become new things. When I'm saying so, I'm saying it's either the ANC becomes a new thing, like the renewal thing. This is their renewal thing. Let it be a thing indeed. Or we need a new thing. And I have a lot to say in a new thing as well. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching my videos. If you watched up to here, this is South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here.